First time I ever thought about joining the Army, I was 6, and I remember a commercial. This GI is sitting underneath a tree, and kind of like this, and it's raining, it's muggy, you see helicopters, and he's got his canteen cup, and he's just shivering. And for some strange reason, I saw that guy, and I'm like, that's who I want to be.
It's not a glamorous life. Plus you have to go overseas and get shot at, so it's not very glamorous in the slightest.
I joined the Army after college, and for the simple reason to be a soldier.
Military, I wanted to do like the hardest thing there was, and the infantry is kind of the hardest right there up at the front.
I mean, I'm not going to lie, that's what I joined the Army to do, is to do the most dangerous thing I could, because sometimes that's the funnest.
I always wanted to jump out of airplanes, and I found out it was airborne infantry and just shooting rifles, and you know, the prestige aspect of it really gets to me. I think it's such an honor to do the job, and that's why I do it.
My grandfather, who was in the infantry in World War II, was not happy. He wanted me to have a desk job, not to be under fire. I just told him, you know, the Army teaches me how to fight well, and that I was going to come home.
The Army has values that make a man, you know, woman a woman, whatever, you know. You know, that's what makes a person a good person, is the 7 Army values: loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage.
After September 11th, after I watched the buildings come down, it made me just physically sick. It made me want to be in the Army.
It was rough in the beginning. We were only supposed to be there for 3 months, but we ended up being there 9.5. We finally got showers after 3 months.
I wasn't in a bed at all the entire year. I didn't have like my own room. It was pretty much whatever was in my rucksack and my A-bag, and you know, depending on where the route clearance mission took us, that's where we went.
The ambushes, they were fairly significant. We ended up sending 4 or 5 guys home after the first one.
It's not like conventional war where you know, you got a gun, they got a gun. They got bombs and you got a truck and you're driving around, so that's how it goes over there.
I mean, certain sections of my company got in firefights constantly because of their mission. You know, when you're route clearance, you're putting yourself online all the time. You know, if as an engineer you have to go out and do anything they ask you to do. You could build a fob, or you could go clear a route and just look for IEDs.
And I mean, you've got tanks, Bradleys, and all kinds of vehicles and stuff that need to get somewhere, and if they can't get through, they call you. And if you can't get through, then there's no way that anybody's going to get through. So we find ways to get through. And so it does give you a Superman complex, and I like that. You find a way. You can't, there's no such thing as we can't. You find a way.
Okay, we're a volunteer Army. Every single soldier in the Army is a volunteer. They're professionals. Therefore, not only are they valuable from a human life standpoint, but they're valuable because we've sunk great amount of time and effort into recruiting them and training them and equipping them and deploying them. So the #1 requirement we have is to protect them and safeguard them.
He's in the infantry. I know that he's going out on patrol, so I know what could happen. You know, you watch the news.
Staff Sergeant Rashi Hall, he was awarded the Silver Star for actually charging the ambush site. His Humvee took an RPG through the left rear window where he was sitting, and it crossed down in front of him. It took out part of his helmet and his IB as well. I mean, they're all cut up and pretty bad, but it saved his life.
It was in the wee hours of the morning, and it was Justin on the other end with a very raspy voice. And he said, "Baby, I've been shot, and I'm gonna let you talk to the doctor. I'm okay. I love you." And that was about it.
He was attacked while on patrol, or on the road at least. He was shot, and it hit his armor that was on his chest, blew a huge hole in it.
No, it knocked me on my butt. I looked down at my chest, there was no blood oozing out. I looked down on the floor of the Humvee, and it was a tracer, and it was burning. I still have it, and I was fine, so I got up and I started shooting again.
If you'd not been wearing that armor, you probably would have died, or been very seriously wounded.
we're bringing home the best and brightest that America has to offer at an unprecedented rate.
I don't think we could have accomplished everything that we have without the equipment that we have.
Without a doubt, we have the best Army in the world, no question. We have the best equipped soldiers in the world.
I went over there with more equipment than I knew what to do with. As a matter of fact, I had to leave equipment. I just couldn't carry all the equipment that I had. So today's soldier is very well equipped with the very best equipment that we can have right now.
I think it's very important for them to realize that we do have equipment that's going to save our lives. I don't think they should whine over, you know, a little bit of money that's being spent. How much is my life worth? Well, I think it's worth a lot. You know, yeah, we got a big deficit, but I want to stay alive just like everybody else.
I have to have my IBA, my ACH, and my weapon.
I look at the equipment we have today with the perspective of 34 years in service, and I must admit that I'm in awe of what we've accomplished, but then I have to step back and say, okay, enough patting yourself on the back, enough patting your organization on the back. You still have work to do. Keep pressing on.
As soon as an improvement's out there and it hits the street, you know, and soldiers expect it. I mean, they want it now. You've improved it, give it to me. And we bust our butts doing just that.
So this is personal to us. The leaders in this organization, their sons and daughters are over there.
Family support is a big deal because male in the Army is awesome. Whether you're in basic training or another TRADOC school or Iraq especially, male is awesome.
I think it's very few people that can deal with that totally alone and not have any emotional support, you know, back here at home. You need that bedrock of support back here while you're gone. I mean, you just have to have it.
My child was born when I was on deployment. I didn't get to see that, so all the pictures of him and videos of him that she sent me just really makes me want to get home safe.
Support your troops. I sent Christmas time. I mailed out boxes to the single soldiers and gave them presents for Christmas. People who didn't have anybody to give them presents, and
video games, DVDs, CDs, whatever could take our minds off of where we were at the time.
they're our family now. You know, the guys in my husband's unit, I know them all, and I know all their quirks and weirdness, but you know, they're my family.
I married my best friend, my biggest advocate, my biggest supporter. So I wouldn't have gotten where I've gotten in the military without my wife.
But I keep tabs on him quite a bit, a lot of reminders. Hey, how are you doing? What are you doing? Are you watching what you're carrying? To try to make sure that he's taking care of himself as well as the mission that he has at hand.
She likes to joke that she's a soldier too. I'm a soldier's wife, I'm tough. And she is. She really is. So.
Well, the wives are serving, and it's harder for the wives than it is for the men. Because you say the men are facing danger every day, but they got that same core group of people that never changes. You know, they know when they wake up in the morning, unless something drastic happens, Smith is going to be on my left and Jones is going to be on my right. I mean, they're focused on one thing: fighting the war, staying alive, keeping from getting hurt. You know, they're not focused on, you know, the kids are sick, there's something wrong with the dog, the plumbing broke.
You gotta stay tough for them. You can't let them know how much you worry, you know.
That's all we need, is to know that our wives are there for us, that they love us. I have faith in you, honey. That's all we want to hear.
So they have to be exceptionally strong women and men, and we're very proud of them and hope they'll continue to serve us in the way they have.
I really have a lot of respect for him and anyone that is willing to leave their life behind to go to these countries and fight the war there, but also does end up fighting the war here.
Seeing my father leave, and I remember wishing for him to come home and being lonely. And I knew if I were going to marry a soldier, I'd have children that would look outside their window waiting for Daddy to come home too. You sacrifice things in your life, and sometimes that includes time together. But love will bring you through.
I mean, we've just got great kids out there, we've got great leaders out there, and we just got to keep doing what we're doing. And that sounds hard to tell a family that you got to, you know, your son's going away, your husband's going away for another year or two. But, you know, it gets back to the thing that we all said was we don't want our grandchildren doing this. You know, I'm not saying everybody needs to get out and wave a flag, but they just need to understand what these kids are going through and understand that this is the best we have to offer is going out there.
Girl, I love you, baby. You are the one that I live for. If ever you should leave me, I know my heart would hit the floor. So stay here with me, darling. Let's make tonight last so long. Just sit a little closer, 'cause I'll be singing you this song. I'll keep you in my heart, I'll keep you in my dreams, as long as we're apart. I feel so incomplete, so I'll keep you in my heart, I'll keep you in my dreams. Whenever we're apart, I just can't take it, 'cause you mean that much to me. Now that I have you, baby, I can't seem to ever let you go. There's just something about you, girl. I want the whole wide world to know you've got that special something, the thing that makes me feel so right. We're meant to be together. You are the sunshine in my life, so I keep you in my heart, I keep you in my dreams, as long as we're apart. I feel so incomplete, so I keep you in my heart, I keep you in my dreams. Whenever we're apart, I just can't take it.